Hello, everybody. Techstack
Hey.
here with Fiery.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Hi, everyone.
I started myself. Go ahead.
Well, it's only my fault. I mean, I cut you off. I mean,
So stream, here it is. This is the second block. Zoom in a bit. The battery bank. It looks like a battery bank to me. I just got done telling Fiery that it does not. While this silver part looks correct, you know, it's wiring the batteries up in parallel. Hey, Fall. Or in series. This part is not. Like, these two batteries connect into the same thing. That could be okay. That could be okay. But them connecting over to the other end of the whole array is not. It would just be a dead short, and you wouldn't have any work being done by anything. But it's a video game, right? It doesn't have to actually be right? It'd be like if you took a AA and put a metal wire on both ends and then expected the light bulb to turn on somehow. By just touching that wire, it's not going to work because it's just going to short right back into the battery. Whatever it is that you need to do work needs to be between this spot and this spot for it to work. But it looks cool.
I don't know. It looks good.
Let's see it in game here. Go off of that. I also found out early this morning that there's a setting inside Forge that you can set. It's actually kind of hard to set it inside your development environment, so I'm going to show it on stream for anybody that's watching later on that is interested in this type of thing. You go up underneath your build configuration, your debug configuration, go to arguments, you can put it in here. So I've set it so that the number of model loading errors it will show me is 2,000 instead of 5 before it says suppressing all the rest of the errors, and then you don't find out about them. That's a very useful thing to know, because when you have as many blocks as I have and they might have errors, it's annoying when you add a new block and the new error message is hidden. That was what was wrong with last night. I couldn't figure it out because it was hiding the error messages. Once I did that, I was able to figure out what was wrong and get it added to the game here, so we can see it here in a second. There they are. That's the battery. That's the generator. They are visually different. This one's symmetrical, so like this side's gonna be the same as this side pretty much. This is not though. This one's completely unique and completely directional. Looks like I've got one cap on the top of those. It's darker, so that wasn't intentional. I don't know if I need to change it though.
Oh, well, it gives a character.
Yeah. Nothing to be unique about it. These you can flip it completely around. They are directional, at least for right now. So I can place it this way. This way. Or I can place it this way. I can place it this way. So they are directional like that. So you can take a line like that. Which looks cool. Twist them. Different ways. But this way. I'm happy with that it turned out. I don't know. They look like a battery to me.
Yeah.
And they look like they would store a significant amount. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to create different tiers of these. And if I do, I've got it set up in a way where I would just need to take the model and edit off this shelf, this top shelf, right? And then we have a tier 1 battery. We've got some options there. The generator, though, is basically locked in. I don't know what else to make, like how to make it visually different to make it look bigger or stronger or whatever, right? Unless I somehow put like turbos or something off the top of the piston spots.
Can I make a slight suggestion?
No, never.
For on the generator, how do you tell which side has power hookup?
Well, that's what we were talking about last night, though, right? So I was saying, should I make it directional? And you said no. So all of them. Like, it's directional visually, but I think we should be able to hook up power from anyway.
Okay.
And I'm okay with that too, because what I think, you know, I would do personally myself, just to make it simple to begin with, I do that, right? And it sends power up into your gold. There's no other setup. Now, once I get more advanced, I do that, you know, and have whatever I'm going to use for wiring coming off and going into them. Maybe even the battery in there, so I can power the battery and blah, blah, blah. I don't have to worry about running out of fuel or anything ever so often, stopping my machines. But all this right now is just completely visual. There's nothing that's working about it as far as making energy, actually. So we're still a long ways off from getting this working. I think the next thing I kind of need to do is the conduit type things that will connect all the blocks together so we can send power along. But I don't know how to do that visually. What even color do I use? Do I go with this red look to it and just center it in the block and it connects different things? I don't know.
For what? The power cable?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, center, like the center of the block would probably look best.
And then it needs to have different states, about like my liquid pipes, right? So the liquid pipe, when you pop it down, it's just a node at first, and then when you put one beside it, those two nodes will update over time and connect up with it, side. So it eventually becomes like a 6-sided thing.
Right.
Like that. Updates again. So I could do something like that, but I don't think I want it to look exactly the same. I don't want it to look that big.
No, you want it to be way thinner.
Right.
That would be like an underground buried cable that's used for transporting gigantic mass quantities of power.
What I've got on the screen?
Yeah, that pipe.
Well, that's the liquid pipe. That's for the fluids.
Right, I'm saying, but if you had one that size, that's what it would be for.
The next thing is, you know, do I make it behave like redstone? There, you know, it might be in the center of the block, left and right, like that, but it's at the bottom of the block or the side of the block. How should that work? Or should I literally put it in the middle of the block in every direction? In which case I have to have 7 states for this thing, or more.
I don't want to make this too rough. I don't know. Which do you think would be better? Honestly. Honest opinion.
Name a letter. There you go.
Hey. These llamas sound like they're puking on me. Hey, Epic Death. That's good. Actually updates the lighting on it. Oh. Hey, by chance, can you do /give food at TR?
Give food to you?
Here. Yeah. Somehow my nether portal messed up, throwing me to the divided by 8 coordinates threw me at the coordinates exact. Yeah. Had that happen one other time, but that's have that.
Let's see what I can come up
Yeah, I'd say it'd look cool if they were in the middle of the block, but in realistic, the cables would be just laying on the ground. So I would say just leave them on the ground, kind of like redstone.
Because, you know, redstone goes on the ground, but it goes up the side too, make them look like they're connected. I kind of know how to make that work in the middle. I personally would like the ability to run them vertically too. Like that.
Whoa.
So I kind of says don't put them.
Okay.
Even if it's vertical, but like against the block. Or this. But those are against the block. What were you gonna say, Fire?
I was gonna say that's fine. Having them be able to run up like that. Man, those things take forever to connect.
Yeah, it's just the way I'm doing it. Not doing it. Quick way so that it's not as like. But basically a pipe like that, but in each direction. I guess if you don't have any of it connected, then I'm not sure what to render. Like if you just place it down by itself, it would need some default state to go in. Or could I simplify? Make them directional? No, I couldn't because it could have like a 6-way connector. Or an L shape. Okay, so that's to be north. Go ahead and set.
Okay, I've ran into 4 nether fortresses all in the exact same row. Got 2 heads so far. I'm up to 5.
I think I've got 3 now.
Well, that's a little over halfway. We only need 15. Well, as long as we don't die to them.
So you're saying we need more, huh? So, these. Two.
Well, this would be a great spot to set up the farm.
What, you saying our farm ain't good enough?
Yeah, I'm saying you got 2 cross sections here, and they're both right over lava. Giant area.
The reason I set up where I did is the most fortress is over lava, so the fortress is really the only thing that spawns in. There are a few exceptions. We finish it off, you know, get more conveyors in there, and then half slab the rest of the fortress that's loaded, it will spawn a lot.
I'll give you that.
7. That.
Over 600 blocks. What am I working on? I'm working on making conduits for the power system. So, I don't know why I've decided to do all the models first instead of the code. But,
It's because you want to keep your eyes on the prize.
I just want to do it. Down. Center. Center. That. And then I'll dynamically turn them on and off as needed.
Right.
Are they going to be able to float in the air?
Face on this. Oh, not touch. Hey, Core. Working on what's going to be the conduit. Machine. Let's get this as a block going somewhere here. And Fiery, the exact thing I said that could happen happened on the server. The claimed chunks had crops today. The unclaimed chunks did not have crops. And we went harvest them all and never replanted. I've since replanted. Inaccurately, I found out later. The tractor was full of stuff, and I put a bunch of seeds in it and went and planted more wheat because we need wheat pretty bad. We've used it all. And didn't look at the order, so it's like wheat and corn and carrots. And... My bad. I probably should go harvest.
Well, I'll give you 2 guesses who it was, and you'll probably need none.
Yeah, I already know.
Guess I need to put a sign down that states if you harvest the field, replant the field.
You know, you and I haven't played together as much as we have. We both just know that's how it's the right thing.
Right. And it's not even like it's like hard. I mean, it's one pass with the tractor.
Right. And it's not like you're not gonna have the seeds after harvesting it.
Right.
It'd be the slight issue during my first time when I did it. Being in the combine out. And I really didn't have too much left in the combine.
Make sure you check the order there, Tech.
Wah. It's all seeds first.
Just checking. I mean,
It should be all seeds first because I made the other pass and emptied out all the other slots. Who's allowed to join the Discord? Guess anyone we give the invite to. That'd be my first answer.
and a smart alecky one at that.
Sorry. Well, I guess if you have it. Oh, wrong button. Oh, creepers on the bridge. That's never good. I'll say this: not everybody has talk power in here. Like, we have to promote people to get talk power in here.
Yep.
That's mainly so that we don't get trolls and advertisers, which I consider as trolls too. Sorry about the puppy barks. Didn't have any wheat. 500 wheat on that. From the harvest of a basically non-complete field of wheat, I would say maybe 50%. Yes. Actually, Epic, if you have that link from last night, those links expire over time. I don't know if it'll still work today. Not sure what the timer was it defaulted to when I created that link. So feed these guys when we get on a block being added.
It's the oddest thing. Get around in the nether fortress, and all of a sudden the chicken starts clucking.
Yeah, the baby.
Yeah,
big
baby
chickens spawn.
zombie.
Getting the hang of this flying stuff. See if I can't crash. so we need to add a block for it. Where's the battery? What I call it, conduit. Machine conduit. Let's see. Here. Everything. Conduit. Let's conduit in. Let's do model. Need to be facing directions. I don't think so because it's gonna have north, south, east, west, up, down, pulse basically on instead. Yeah, thanks, Fire. I hear what you're saying and could see it, but let's see if it actually does.
Yeah.
Hoping it doesn't.
Yeah. I always hope for the best and pray for the and prepare for the worst.
That was default, apparently it's not. So we're gonna put down. Down. Let's do north next. Put north, south, east, west. North. South. East. West. And you're just an extra. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that too many?
Yeah.
Decimals. Nice. It's gotta be 8 bits, and I can't do 8 bits, I don't think. 6 bits. Because if they're all on, it'd be up, down, east, west, north, south. Oh crap. Goodbye. That's 63. That's, I think I can go a max of 16. I think I can code this then. So all the block states need to be set based on 16 digits, up to 16 digits, because they need to be able to fit in the metadata.
Okay.
Or I could not store its state based on this and just do this in the render and dynamically turn them on and off in the render piece. So there's two different pieces, if I can explain it to see. Minecraft running creative. Level and creative. Is there anything else in Minecraft like vanilla that connects in multiple directions besides like a fence?
Hopper? Oh, in multiple directions. Oh.
Hopper would be a good example though. So this can be north, south, east, and west. That's 4 bits.
Fences, redstone, iron bars, glass.
Stone might be an example. Let's see. Redstone can go out.
Not too much else.
North, south, east, west, powered. No. Okay. So if we go like that, north is up. So they've got some extra data on there. It's just not a yes or no. To the side, to the south. Side. So they're storing more information than what could be possibly set in the 16 possible values, right? So if each one of these can be on, off, side, or on side, or up. That's 3 different states for each one of those 4 values, plus the powered bit. And I think the powered isn't just a on or off, it's a 0 through 16. So the way they do this is there's another option. There's a here's my information about my block in the world, and then here's how I visually look. There's something different. That's what the fences do, I think. So I'm a fence, basically, is how it is. But then when you connect them, they visually update their model to connect to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's might be what I can do, right? So each one of my blocks will just be a block, and then when it goes to render, it'll look at its neighbors and say, oh, I should be this.
Okay.
So if I look at a redstone block, check it in the vanilla code, make sure I'm thinking right. Block redstone.
Wouldn't you want the redstone itself, not the redstone block?
But even redstone dust is still a block in the game when you look at it. Yeah. So they do have north, south, east, west, so they do have a powered state. Also have the bounding box, which is not a property. It's fine. So they're gonna have a get actual state. Yeah, so that's what's saved, or what's visually how it looks. Then there's gonna be another get state from meta. Meta from state. which just looks at the power piece, and get meta from state is just the power piece. So basically what they're saving is when you save Minecraft, it doesn't save which connections there are, north, south, east, or west. It only saves the power state of that block. So if it's 1 through 15.
Ooh, finally got home.
Dang, you must have been really far away.
Hey, I'll be right back. I gotta go eat dinner.
800, 1200. Yeah. Play diagonal.
Oh, 1200 diagonal, I get what you said. Sorry.
Yeah.
Durr. Wasn't thinking like that at all.
I need to grab some more food.
Language small. Just made a bunch of static.
Oh, I said it. I probably need to go grab some more food from the house.
Yep, so it's checking to see if it's going to connect to that block in each direction. So if the block is redstone, or an unpowered repeater, or an observer. None of those deal with it, then it's based on if the redstone connects, so it actually calls a method on the other block. Okay. So I can look to see if that block has a tile entity, if it has a tile entity, or it's one of my blocks. Okay. Oops. So, false. Width property down, false. Width property north, false. Width property false. Width property
How's everybody doing today? Today, call your mom more.
Okay. Interesting. Up, down, north, south, east, west. Okay. That'd be the default state for that. Then on the placing, we need to do the same, basically. Get an error for what? Extra dot. Same here. So this is where we need to actually turn the state from the meta value, which there is no extra state. Let's use the defaults. That can't be wrong, right? And meta from state. And 0. There's none. Lock. There's lock. Need it at all if it's not going to have a state. Else has a render state but not a theirs have actual state. Liquid pipe. The liquid pipe has probably has. Got it. No state at all on it.
So much better. Apparently, I got a few villagers.
Got a few.
Yeah. Doing work inside my house, trying to cooking.
Sarcasm.
What?
You're using sarcasm, I just didn't pick up on it.
Oh, yeah. Getting his, huh?
Oh,
Oh.
It gets to you after a while.
It's a good bit.
It's be like, yourself. Seriously. That was to me. go a tad bit overboard with wheat here on the server.
No. Go for it because I'm getting low on wheat.
And, like when I gave you wheat earlier, that basically used up all the wheat we had.
I meant to take all of that.
I'm back.
It's fine. It wasn't that much wheat. We just were that low. Okay. One planting of everything wheat, and then a harvest should get us set for again for a while. And I'm only gonna do this stuff. Sense.
Tech need some bone meal or iron.
Back.
I don't think he heard you.
Heard
I
what?
don't think so either. Some iron or bone meal.
What about it?
Would you like me to bring some over for you?
Oh no. Like I'll just let this grow over time.
Okay.
I need to waste bone meal on this. Because this will burn through a ton of bone meal.
Got like half a chest full of blocks.
Still, not needed. Give it, what, 20 minutes and most of this will be grown. Maybe. We have wheat now, it's just I want to make sure we have wheat. Creeper, 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 get out of the field.
Yeah, right? I patched up enough holes.
Right. Yes. Ah, I'm out of seeds. Seriously? Ah. Well, thank you. Oh, wow. We're out of seeds? Holy crap. This farm is freaking huge.
Yeah, but you're trying to plant like every single row of it with wheat. So we were only doing one line at a time.
Still, I mean, every single time we had extra seeds. Well, that didn't do nothing. Dang, this thing is huge. Okay.
I didn't think I had that many.
Check inside the house, there might be some in there.
Great, I bet there's some in this chest. Guess there's some wheat in here. Wheat in there too. We just got
22
stuff everywhere.
23 in the other chest too.
Okay. 23 in some chest. Yeah. I like the empty one. You know, maybe we should pop these empty ones so we don't have to go through them to realize that they're empty all the time. 6. Okay.
Yeah, we could do that with the empty chests, or you could put the storage block in, and we can say hell with the whole storage room.
One thing at a time. Alright. A real player.
You know you're not
advances
going to make it down that field.
Nope, I knew I wasn't. Hope that somebody's jinxing me. Oh, I took off from the tractor, never touched the ground. That's how the real pros do it. Okay, back to the code. Oh, that stuff grows. I've got something that should work here. Then I need to add it over here. Oh, I need to do one piece of change. So this should not say battery bank. This should say combo. It's gonna give me an error because I don't have created that yet. So let's go ahead and create that. Entities. Copy the battery bank. I'll conduit. This let's say error message goes away. Blocks. Up the tile over here. Grab the dot. Okay, that's that. Into the block states, I take the battery, conduit. This exactly. For now, we'll just do the one. It's not going to have an even facing on it. Y180. Dang it, stop adding extra prints or double quotes.
machine mod up here. And go over to the item version. Find the battery bank, copy it, put in this. Okay. Run it, see if we got a block that's a cross shape, 6-sided thing. It will not be dynamic at this point. It's just going to be a static block. See, that stuff's growing pretty fast already. We're getting, you know, the stuff I planted earlier today has already got some fully grown, but even the other two half grown. By the way, Gazer, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Seen your message when I was walking away. Block battery bank, it's missing a texture. How does that work? Was it missing a texture before?
So funny with this many cows.
Was that?
My cows. I got a manual sweeper on them.
Oh, right there. That's the reason for that message. Okay. Do we have any block? Do we have any block? Come on, load. Ooh. Oh.
Wah, wah, wow. What?
It makes sense to me, fine. Don't worry. I got it. I got this! Kind of half anticipated it doing just what it did. So,
Well, if you anticipated it, why didn't you fix it to begin with?
why you? North. Falls. South. Falls. Up. Falls. West equals falls.
Reload.
GG. I guess we can see if that other error message disappears too. Just unloading. Oh, right, there it is. There it is. See, I knew what I was doing, Fiery.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
You
yeah.
got a nice cage, a nice looking cage there.
Yeah. I just need to make the whole thing dynamic and actually make it work then after that. Particles are messed up. Fix that. So this one is an example of it.
Yeah, no particles for it, please. Even though it looks cool when they have them, but I
No,
don't
not
think our
like that.
CPUs can take it.
You'll want these particles, right? So these are the ones. When you break a block, see how it's all purple flakes flying off of it? Those particles, what I'm talking about. Let me reload again. So every block has those particles in Minecraft. You just don't normally notice them because they look so correct.
I thought you meant like a particle effect while it's running or something.
Like even the dirt has it.
Like, oh my god, whose mod was it that did that? Extra utilities. With all the item ducts and or not the item ducts, but the yeah, those pipes that you use. They had little
Pipes.
particles that chased along them and just
Oh yeah,
chewed
no.
the heck out of them.
They look cool. Don't get me wrong, but no.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
why I was saying, you know, it
Conduits
looks
and pipes and all that, they're used pretty heavily. So you want to keep them, in my opinion, you want to keep them lightweight so that they don't
right,
cause
so
lag.
they don't affect anything.
Right. What's the name of that generator? Generator, that's the name of the generator. So, what?
That generator thingy, you know, the generator thingy. What's the name of that thingy?
Right. You know, if my one half of my brain could talk to the part of my brain that actually makes me talk, I could tell you. It's so much more accomplished.
Oh man, I could hear the mental battle in that head. Do you even listen to half the stuff you spit out your mouth all the time?
He does.
I'm running a YouTube video here.
Hello. I say, I said hello to you earlier. Maybe you didn't hear me. I like your method of doing it, though. It's cool. Very programmer-y. If you're not in Twitch Fire, he said system.
I say that.
Print line. So, I don't like the way those are oriented. I need to flip them. Because I think if it's... I'm facing it... See, that's facing towards the west. The gas tank should be on this side. Going good, man. We're getting models added, actually. So that would be how it would look if it was added to that one. You know, this connection would be here. The other 5 wouldn't be there. The centerpiece would. The centerpiece will always be there. So you'll always have something that you place down. It'll be a little dot, right? And then as you add connections to it, it'll add different ways. I think I want to rotate this thing though first, because it's just off. It's going to bother me. When I place it down this way, that gas tank should be facing towards me. So it's... Right, it's wiring. Think of it as power generation and moving the power from block to block. So let's see, when I'm facing to the north, it is rotated by 90 degrees off. I'm not sure which way, if I need to increase the rotation or not. Let's try 270. FPT. Come on. Third. Nope. Exact opposite. Okay. So it was 180 before, so we need this one to be 90. So we're subtracting 90 from it, so this one needs to be 270. That. This one needs to be 0, so no rotation on this one, and this one needs to be 180. So, space, space. Okay, F3T. Probably need to do something similar for the battery bank. Oh, I'll have to place it down and see. There we go. Yep. 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 Cool. Battery banks. Yeah, I think they should be facing like that. Let's see. Oh, what mod you make? I want them to place like that, so they need to be rotated as well the same. So let's look at the battery bank. should just flip this. Really, these are directional blocks for nothing other than the fact that they are visual. 270. That's a bit much of the rotation. 2,700. Oops. This, yeah. There we go. Nice. Now they place nice. Like, I think when you place them, they should look like that. Can you imagine having a huge shelf of these for your battery bank? That's why I wanted them to look like this. They look... I think they look...
They do look cool.
Looks like something you'd find in some doomsday prepper's house, right? For his huge backup batteries bank. And you place them from the other side, and they look identical because they're basically symmetrical. Yeah. 170. No, that's 180. Sorry, the settings. Right. Decent call. Okay. These generators in front of them. Just, you know, in theory, I think I'll make them connect. Not visually, but they'll be able to supply power to each other.
Yeah.
So you can put a generator, you know, there even, and it would work. Basically, all the blocks that do power will contribute power to the network.
Yeah, I wouldn't say make it so that you had to run a cable between them.
Right. That's just busy work. And that
Now,
type of thing would work. This is gonna bother me that that doesn't visually connect, but I don't know what else to do about it other than move up the whole generator. But I don't think it's worth it, because then it's gonna be connecting into the hose basically for the fuel line.
right.
What were you gonna say, Fire?
As far as the cables, are you going to limit how much power they can transfer at a given time?
So the whole mechanics of power
And then make
generation
and then-
amounts and power storage amounts and transfer amounts, I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead. I just haven't. You know, I also don't have a feel for how other mods are using FE, so Forge Unity. So is 10,000 a lot of FE, or is it barely anything, right? Because in order for me to somewhat be balanced with other mods, I need to have an equivalent type of scale in mind, right? So I don't want to make it so like this generator generates 100,000 FE, and that's like the Rolls Royce of generators when it's my tier 1 generator, if we do different tiers, right? So maybe I need to mess around with some other mods that use Forge Energy units, but I don't know what does.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Everything else is either RF or yeah, the other one.
But what I've learned is Forge Energy units is based off of RF. Like, they use King Lemming's code to make Forge Energy units. Just to have something in Forge so that it's kind of, not really a standard, but it's an option for everybody. They didn't want to make it a standard because they want people to still be able to do whatever they want.
Hey Tech, can you think you can like sleep real quick?
Oh yeah. As long as I don't crash into the ground here.
Nice.
Worked on Monster Hunter Frontier Craft with French tech mod, which translated into Advanced Technology Craft. My own origin item mod, French mode. That's cool, man. Sounds like you did quite a bit. You bone meal in those fields, or did it really grow that fast? Because that's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's bone meal, and you can see the bone meal thing on it.
Ah!
Nice
Oh,
try,
no.
Eagle.
Got a bit of bone meal at my house because I've AFK'd over there for a while. You can,
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun to get out of there.
yeah,
There you go.
thank you. Got a present for you as well.
Oh, that.
Iron.
Ooh. Is this doopy, glitchy, cheaty iron?
No, that's
Okay.
legit.
Thank you. Miss AF says I was really into modding between finishing high school and college. Let's have those of the time. Yeah, I understand that. I'm past all that now, but I just some of the things I do in mods are just too OP, and it's hilarious. And it's fun. Okay, let's see about. Let's see about naming these first, because that's gonna bother me too. That's easy. I can do that now. Oh, wrong thing. Wrong window. Over here in my language file. Let's tile that machine on. I went to make my own power mod and API, but like I said, it's been a good while and loads of things have changed with Minecraft. Yeah, and you know, Forge now has its API for Forge Energy. Like I was kind of describing, they made it so that anyone can use it, but and not require another dependency. But you don't have to use it.
There's always that option too, Tech. I mean, you could just say heck with them all and just make TE, Tech Energy.
No, I that's what was going to be in my mod originally. That's what that stuff I deleted the other night. It was going to be its own little thing. How many years is it now, Fiery?
I think we nailed it down to about 3 years.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But the most of that time was me not working on it at all. I sat idle for a long time, and then I came back to it.
Yeah, years. He took a hiatus from it because, personally, I think the models pretty much irked him for the longest time.
They did. They didn't encourage me. That's for sure.
But now we got a 3D modeler, so he does most of the models, and Tech just concentrates on the programming.
Yep. Although I'm been digging making the models for the blocks. It's not too bad. I'm probably making them way too complex for people with bad computers now.
I don't know. I haven't really had a problem with them yet.
I'm talking about the batteries and the generators and the conduits. The conduit shouldn't be too bad, but the batteries and the generators, I hope they don't like.
I don't think it really will. I mean, it's just sitting there, right? I mean, maybe if like
but-
there was a battery bank of like 1,000 batteries or something, but
So there's 8 batteries on the bottom, so there's 8 cubes there. Then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more cubes on each level for the little connectors between the batteries. So that's 16 per level, plus 1 on the bottom. So you see where I'm going with this?
I'm trying to be optimistic.
There's quite a few faces
Here,
in this
Tech,
when I
okay?
look at it. It's just,
You know what?
We'll see.
Let's wait and see how bad it affects me.
Right.
Okay, because I've been a pretty good judge of how well it's gonna affect people with lower end computers so far.
let's do this. Create new world. Do creative. What options? Super flat, custom, presets. Not grass. Why would we want the ground to be grass? Let's do this.
Let's make it all generators.
Cold faces?
It means they're not actually displayed if they're hidden between things.
Oh, no, tech does most of that, actually.
Mod, what do I call it? Machine battery bank. Really? Did I? Yes, I did. Crap. Battery bank. Machine battery. Yep, that'll work. Done. Great new world.
Are you serious?
See how bad the FPS is. Look at it. Isn't it glorious?
The world of power.
Let's let it all load in here. Ooh, I just realized those are all tile entities too. Ouch, I probably shouldn't have done that. That's a lot of red. The red really just like kind of takes over in the distance. And of course NVIDIA says my drivers care really.
Yeah, I did
Says
mine
I'm
earlier.
getting 150 FPS, but the tick speed must be really lagging because the slimes are kind of choppy.
Yeah, I see that.
Forge. Yes. My TPS is fine. I don't know what's up.
Maybe it's just because it's still loading in.
Maybe. Although even my camera is being super laggy right now, so maybe it's OBS done. Maybe it's having problems compressing that color.
Well, I think I could honestly say I don't think it would affect it that bad then.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, you just made a whole world full of these things.
Yeah.
I mean,
And, you know, we can make them expensive. You're not gonna need a whole world of them. Probably, yeah, like you're saying. So the next thing I want to do, let me see if I can look up on the Forge docs real quick. Minecraft Forge documentation. Docs. Okay. Block states. Forge block state. There's a thing that you can do to turn things on and off dynamically, I believe. Shows the use of submodels. We create a model that has different variants. Each variant will use submodels to create a different model. The model will be a pressure plate, and depending on the state, have parts added to it. Like that. So it's gotta use the forge marker. Yeah, okay. Textures are all the same. The model itself is pressure plate up, okay. And then there are variants. It's got a mossy variant. It's a boolean. If it's true, it does that texture. If it's false, we do nothing. Okay. Pillar count, the property that determines the number of pillars we should have, ranges from 2 to 0. Oh, so this just overrides textures. That's cool. No pillar number has to be there. Huh, okay. I wonder if I have to actually have them as separate models, though. That's what I don't get. Or can they be the same model within the same model file? Comment really explains the details of parts, but here's how the overall works. The block definition is it has two properties, one named mossy, one named pillar count. Notice that here's a string. Use JSON layout, blah blah blah. Let's see. Great, but I would like an example file that shows me if this is the models themselves, if the submodel wall in is a different model altogether.
You know, one thing I'm surprised is that they haven't made
Yeah, I do. That's that made what?
Walls and stairs for like the diorite and the andesite and all the new rocks.
They will.
I didn't even know you.
They will.
Know you. I didn't know you had a GitHub for this one.
Yeah, it's been out there since the beginning. Well, a GitHub has been out there since the beginning. This one's been out there about a month or two into it. I moved things over to that name instead, the original. Like, this is what I need to do. I just don't need to know. I just need to know if it needs to be in a separate file or the same model file. That's it. So I guess the way I'm going to learn this is just to try it. It does not say.
Okay, combine harvest.
This conduit. Where's conduit? Let's close everything else. Close others. Right. I'm wanting to use submodels for the wiring. So basically, if there's a connection on the east side, that east model should show. And same for the other sides as well. That way I can make one model that's got all the 6 possible different directions, up, down, north, south, east, west, and show them accordingly. So this is the piece I don't know. Is it the elements that are submodels? Or is it truly a different model over here, a different name over here, that I need to specify? Like, I could break these out into their own files, if I had to.
I think I figured out what's going on with the combine.
It's not working.
Well, I'm saying is, if you're on top of the crops, he does not recognize it as you cannot destroy this because it's trying to speed up, but it really can't. As soon as you get off that patch and you hit the button, hope that kind of makes sense.
I don't think I followed that.
Yeah, the last,
You lost me.
yeah, the last part, it sounded like you just like stopped and.
Okay. When the combine is trying to harvest, if it's sitting on top of the crops, not recognize you that you hit the sprint key, trying to destroy the ground if you sprint. Does that make sense now? You sprint over, sometimes destroy it. So it's not going into sprint mode.
But it should... Are you saying it's being stopped by the utilities still?
I think so.
The call to utilities to say, can I break this or not, should be based on where the wheat is, not where you're sitting in the combine, if that's what you're saying.
Yeah, we have a combine, tractors, all sorts of farming equipment, heavy
Yeah.
loaders, excavators.
SAF, those are the main meat, bread and butter of the mod. That's what the mod's about, is writable machines. Here, let me just show you.
Yeah, pictures worth 1,000 words.
I'm gonna put down our top tier 1 machine. So this is a continuous miner. Hop in it. The cutter wheel at the front there just starts moving. You can lift it up and down. You can rotate When it goes down, it starts breaking the blocks, and you can dig away the world, right? This is what it's about. We've also added a blasting mechanic that is different than the vanilla blasting mechanic, in addition to all the other machines. So all these machines are in the mod, right? So bulldozer, combine, drilling rig model looks awesome. I just have to show it. It looks cool. And when you jump in it and try and drill, the whole thing lowers down, and the drilling bit actually spins down. Cool. Dump truck, excavator, grader, lawnmower, which is more of a joke than anything, a loader, paver, road roller, semi-truck with different attachments for it, so you can put different trailers on it, a sub, chopper, helicopter, a tractor with different attachments for different things. The blasting mechanic, so you can drill the stone with that drill I just had, or the hand drill. Get you that kind of stone. Info. Again, a couple years, right, man? It's taken a while to get to this stage. So I just put the explosives into the drilled stone. Now if I put a lever on it and detonate it, watch what happens. Right, so it blasts all the blocks away. Then you couldn't see them in here, but these blasted stone that it creates out of regular stone is a gravity block, right? So it'll fall down. But what's different about it is it will fall down and then also tumble down a hillside. So you can keep piling these things up and they will create a cone shape, because that's how stone works in a real stone quarry. I used to work for a stone quarry. And I wanted it to work that way, right? Because part of the benefit of it working like this and creating a cone shape, let me just create one over here real quick, is that as it's doing this, it will make it easier to actually work with a loader. Loaders, you know, come along and scoop up material along the side. Over here, so my bucket over here, we'll pick this stuff up, and it will start tumbling down the hill into the bucket. I can look at my inventory, you can see everything I've picked up. It's broken some of the grass too, that's why we're seeing that. Come around the front of it, see it's actually rendering the items in the bucket. I can pick it up, we'll move them in the bucket still. Pick them up all the way, then I can dump them out into the world, which is great when you use the dump truck, because the dump truck is about the same height, and you can dump all the items from the loader, which has a single row of inventory, into the dump truck, which has a double chest worth. And you can haul that stuff off and drop them on the conveyors. Oops, place one there. And the conveyors move items. They move players. If I were actually standing on it and move me. They also will, because the conveyor belt wraps up the back side of them, lift items up and over the top. Same for players. Same for EXP orbs. Same for mobs. These things make awesome uses in mob farms, or mob farms, which I apparently have the difficulty set to peaceful. Do this. The creeper goes up and over the thing. If that were high enough, you take fall damage. Right, so great for mob farms. You can then take your items, your blasted material, to a crusher. And the crusher is what I use for my ore doubling or tripling mechanic. So a blasted stone piece thrown in there. So we have fuel in it. Some fuel going on it. Oop. Will actually be turned into cobble, right? But there is blasted variants of ores too. So you can get blasted gold, blasted iron, blasted coal, whatever, right? So one block of blasted iron that you would get from blasting the iron in the world with the explosives then gets turned into 3 pieces of iron dust, which then smelt into 3 pieces of iron. So you triple your iron by blasting it. If you put normal vanilla iron through it, it would just double it. So that's the ore tripling mechanic. Same for diamonds, it will double your diamonds. I forget what else. We also have a screen, which is a thing in a stone quarry, you know, so is the crusher that you can use. And that's exactly what it is. So you would say dirt goes to the north, you throw a bunch of dirt in it, and then it goes off to the north direction, so it's facing north over here.
It also adds it right into an inventory if you had a chest next to it.
Right. It doesn't have to spit it out in the middle, but it can, because then it works with conveyors too. So if there's a screen set up like that, it'll just dump it out on the conveyor belt can take it off. So by tripling ores that way, it kind of encourages you to explode things exactly. And the explosives are fun in this, right? Because it's a bit of a challenge to work with, and not kill yourself. We fixed the bug now, but originally it had a bug where if you died to the explosion, the subsequent explosions that would chain react would kill your items. So if you died, you lost everything. That made it a very dangerous ordeal to work with, but we fixed that bug. So. Yeah, that's the basics of the mod. I mean, we're working on all sorts of other stuff. We got components. We're building a new dimension for the tier 2 stuff. That's what this robotic arm is for too. Building tier 2 stuff. Well, let's give this a try before I have to go off for the night. So I'm gonna say. What's the variant stuff?
Hey, you're getting faster at telling people about your mod.
I'm cutting a lot of stuff out too. Does it do anything now? No. Will it do something in the future? Yes. The twitching arm is, the twitching is just attached to the animation that I can do. There's going to be a block that you place right here, so it'll actually work on it. It's called an assembly table. That's why we're adding the power generators in the battery and the conduits, is because this arm will need to be powered by all that, and it's going to provide work to the assembly table. And the assembly table, you put in a blueprint for a machine for the tier 2 or the tier 1, top tier 1
machines.
I think it's continuous miner, and it'll sit there and build them over time. But instead of a traditional crafting recipe, which is how most of the machines work now, we're gonna have this thing automated building that's required. And from my standpoint, part of the reason I'm doing it is it makes my job easier. Yes, I have to add all this other stuff, but people have been wanting this anyway. I don't have to add an item for every single subcomponent, right? So a lot of these are just in here so we can create the crafting recipe to be expensive enough to make it worthwhile for the machine. Like this engine, turbo, added. I don't have to create a bunch of items this way. Anyway. This needs to be my model.
Hey, I'm gonna get off your tech.
Okay. Later, bye.
Yep. Later.
Okay.
See you, everybody.
Take that off now. Let me just paste that in over here so I can get it back where I need it. Down. Down it goes. Through. Then submodel. And it is just down. Uppercase. Might be a problem, so I think everything has to be lowercase in this. Notice the string used in JSON is lowercase, however it has to be lowercase for what we found. That's a different piece of lowercase file.
Hey Tech, can you add me as an ally real quick?
What's up?
Ran out of seeds. So
If I can remember how to do it. There you go. That worked.
no, not yet.
You know? Oh, you might have to be longer. You doing it?
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's just try this. It's probably not gonna work. F3, 2. Might take quite a bit of troubleshooting. Hard to figure this one out. Yep. Because it wants all of the properties set. Right, so it needs false. That's what it was trying.
Oh, that kind of stinks. I loaded everything into the hopper system you guys have. And I think the timer ran out, so it got rid of all the seeds that I had.
Oh. Like the chest overflowed? Wait. What?
I just unloaded everything from the chest.
Okay. You took it out of the chest, and then you went to put it into the crate, or what?
Yeah. Seeds,
So they were just sitting on the ground, is that what you're saying?
probably.
Ew.
Oh well.
Seeds. One harvest of this thing will have so many seeds. With this much wheat. I guess you did harvest the one already then.
Yeah. Don't worry about it, I'll get it later.
How many do you think it was?
Entire inventory.
I think that's a double chest worth. Oh, they're all.
Close enough.
If it needs more, let me know.
Yeah, that's good enough. Is there a way that we can put items into the crates automatically, or do we have to do that manually?
Hoppers. Hoppers will put them in there. So you could sort them out with the screen into the correct hopper and then have the hopper feed into the crate.
First. Okay.
I don't think you can go from a screen directly into the crate because it has to come in from the top of the crate and the screen tries to put into the side of something. Wouldn't work. I don't think. Fiery has it set up like that over here, where he's putting the screen off for processing, goes into hoppers, and then the hopper goes straight down into a crate, or a crate for a cobble. Building here. Will have to be my last try. It's 10 o'clock. I get kids to bed. Pretty sure it's gonna error off for all the other directions. I don't have them set in. Oh, I really hate repeating this over and over and over again just to have it fail on me. But I might need to. Let's see if it's gonna work. Oh. Okay, this time is last time. Right. Up here. I can just go to that. That's it. Oh. Oh wow, it's one for each to the different variations of it. Got an error message for each one. Down is true and all the rest of them are false. Down and east is true and all the rest of them are false. Okay. Well, don't want to deal with that right now. Not now. Can't go down. Oh. I will try and figure out what it is I need to do for these. If it's a separate JSON file for each of them, I'm assuming that's what it is. It should be pretty straightforward to build them. I just need to build them. I'll probably simplify the whole thing down to only one, like the north one. Get that working, and then I know what to do for the rest of them. So, this is TechStack signing off. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.